Hello, hello, beautiful creative soul. I'm super excited that you are here with me today for another live session where I get to share more about how to use Procreate. And today I was actually asked this question, how to color, or if you could color my coloring pages within Procreate. And I answered that question in the comment section of my cover photo on Facebook. So if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to go visit that. It was just the short answer of yes, you can. You just download it into it. But I wanted to give a couple of like live examples of how this can be done, because depending on your reason for wanting to do that digitally, you may want a couple of different options. So we're going to go over two different options today of how to color your coloring page within Procreate. And so, yeah, let's dive right in. If you are watching live, please comment below. Let me know who you are and where you're tuning in from. We've got Janine. I know Janine's from Georgia. She didn't even have to say it. She's always here on my lives, and I just love her so much. Thank you, Janine, for always being here, showing up and showing me love. And it just means so much to me that you are consistently showing up for me. It really does mean the world. So I hope that this content helps you express your creative goodness that you've got inside. And I am going to share my screen with you. And let me get it open too. I want to make sure it's updating. It's hard for me because I have to be able to see both, because sometimes it kind of slowly drags. So I'm going to try to stay on top of that today. So we're going to start with downloading a page. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. So what you see here is the creative stash that you can get access to if you visit ashleyscreativestash.com, and you can get access to this. So we are going to just go down here to the most recently added pages. Actually, before I do that, I want to kind of share. I've got a big announcement coming up for Ashley's Creative Stash in 5 days, 18 hours, 13 seconds, and counting on the seconds. I'm really, really excited about this. And I have a confession to make. I have created things like what you see here so many times within this tool that I use to build web pages and stuff. Building web pages, I can get lost in just like I can creating coloring pages. So I have built, and Janine can attest to this because I've shared some with her. I've built so many things just like what you're seeing here, but I have never released anything to the public. It was officially this year, this month, that I had a lot of people rooting and cheering for me. And it really gave me the confidence that I needed to release this program and this idea to the world where I share my art freely. But I have more coming soon, and I'm so excited. So I just wanted to confess that little tidbit to you. So we're going to go down here, and I really want to color my enchanted forest. So we're going to download that. So you're just going to click on the free download page. It's going to open up into a separate page. And this thing is going a little slow here. What's going on? May have to show that again. Technical difficulties. While I'm figuring this out, I'm going to come over and check out Janine's comment. She said, yes, I love you more, girly. Can't wait for the surprise. And yes, I can. Awesome. All right, let me figure out what is going on with this. I'm going to undo it. Redo it. Pull it up. Here we go. All right, I'm going to add to stage. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to download this into our files. And I've actually already saved it, so I'm just going to save it again, replace. All right, so we've got that saved into our files. Now we're going to head over to Procreate, and we're going to import and go to your downloads, and the file will be there, and you're just going to import it. All right. Now there's a couple of ways that we can color this. We can just go right onto the page just like it is a normal coloring page in real life and pick our color. I'm going to say a gray. This thing is not, oh, because I closed it. That's why. There we go. Okay. And we could literally just go in here. I'm going to take that stabilization off. And I'm going to zoom in really close just so you can see that if we color, you can see the black line goes away. So literally, well, I say literally, I feel like when you're coloring real coloring pages, if you have crayons or other things, it doesn't tend to cover up that black line very much. But when you're coloring digitally, it can. And there's a couple of ways that you can avoid that. You could add another layer on top of it. And that way, if you do go over the line, you can come back in with your eraser tool. And this is if you want those black lines to show. And you can clear out so that you can see that black line. So it gives you two different layers that you're working with. So you're not messing up that one layer. And because if we were to erase using our pencil to erase the previous gray that was here, I'll show you if it would erase the whole line and everything in the design. So that could mess you up. So I wanted to point that out for anyone that will want to do this the more traditional way. Why would you want to do the traditional way? For meditative purposes. A lot of people that do color, they do it for those therapeutic, meditative reasons. I know for me, coloring isn't so much that for me, but making these coloring pages, just getting into the line work, it's the focus and the mindfulness that goes into it really does. It just creates this, I don't know, kind of grounding effect, I guess. And it really does reduce the stress and just is overall helpful for you. And the other thing of why you would want to color the traditional way is that you're okay with accepting, your mistakes that you make, which is, it gives you a good opportunity to practice accepting your mistakes and forgiving yourself whenever things don't go quite like you had hoped. So that might be another reason. But let's say you are a little more like me. I'm going to undo everything that I've done here. Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm making a whole lot of other marks. I want to get back to the original. All right. So we're back to the original. We've imported. So this is the next step that we're going to do here is for those that are a little more perfectionist, that seeing the flaws tends to stress you out more and you're looking for legit like stress relief and you want to play around with the application itself. And I prefer this way too. This is another way that is a fun way to add your own details. So what you want to do is once you have imported it, you want to click on that layer and make it a reference. And you just click reference to do that. Then you want to click the in, and it's going to pull down this menu, and you want to do a dark color. Now you want to add a new layer, and I need to make sure this is speeding up okay. And you want to take that layer, click it, hold, and drag it underneath that layer. So that's what it's going to look like in your layers. You've got a blank layer, and then you've got the coloring page on top that is dark color and is a reference. And then what we can do is take our color, click on the color, and actually I just did that and I held it too long. Oh no. Do that again. Redo new layer. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back to the gray, and we're just going to drag that and drop it. So that filled in the hood without affecting the line. So you can see it filled it in really good there. Now I will say with some of my drawings, I am bad sometimes about not completely connecting the black line, especially I'm trying to find probably down here in her neck. So let me just test it. I'm going to take a color. Okay. Okay. So this is a perfect example. You see how I filled that in and it went all the way around, and that's because I didn't close those black lines. What we can do though is, again, double tap to undo. We're going to go back to this top layer, and you can do this on your end. And you're going to zoom in to wherever it is and just, oops, definitely make your brush smaller. And you want to kind of fill all of those areas in. Maybe my line wasn't quite thick enough or something. So now when I go here and I fill it in, which I still did it a little bit, there's one other trick. If it keeps doing it, the other thing is that you can, instead of dropping it, keep your pen on the screen, and you see the threshold at the top. I'm going to slide to the left. You see it's going more. It's filling in more. Well, it's not. There we go. It's catching up. All right, so it's filling in more. I'm going to go to the left, and it's going to do less, hopefully, so that we can just get her neck. Come on, computer, catch up with me. There we go. It's getting there. So that's another way that you can do the fill option. Right, going right on your screen will make it go, and it'll go the direction of the threshold. So if you go right, it's going to go in that direction. All right. So, and then the other thing that I really like about this too is you're drawing on a separate layer. And again, maybe you're like me and you're not so big into the coloring, but you want to add more detail because, you know, a cape can have things like purple spider webs on it. So maybe you go in here and you want to add more detail to what I've already gotten. Actually, that's not how I want to start a spider web. And you can totally customize these coloring pages to really express your own creativity. And I really encourage that with all of my pages. Have fun with it. So lots of fun things that you can do with that. So let's see. I went over the coloring, and also you can still color with this as well. We're going to give her orange hair. And it won't, so you can still use this method, kind of like what we were doing before, but it's going under it rather than over it. So you don't have to worry about coming back to erase. So I'm still coloring in more of a traditional way without affecting the image. All right. So hopefully that helps. Let me come over and check out the comments. We got Bryce in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Miss Janine says, hey, Bryce. We got some chatting going on. I love it. Love it. I missed y'all this morning. We missed you too, Miss Janine. It was a good call. It was a good call. Need some love too. Lawrence Welk. I'm not getting that reference. Did I miss something? You'll have to tell me more on that one, Bryce. And Janine says, how cool, Ashley. Awesome. I'm glad that you found some value in that today, Miss Janine. So, yeah, if you want some free coloring pages, you can go check it out at ashleyscreativestash.com and get you loads and loads. I'm loading up a new one this week. I was hoping to get up 2, but I've had a couple of other projects that took priority. And, but I'm definitely going to have one up on Friday, but trying to get 2 a week. And then I've got the big announcement coming on the 31st. I'm super excited about. Oh, that's right. Granny was watching Lawrence Welk. I knew that I had seen that name somewhere recently. Brain fart. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I've really enjoyed it today. If there is anything that you would like to learn about Procreate, drop your comments. on this video, and it will really help me generate some more content that can be valuable to you. Let's see. Bryce says, so is Procreate mostly for the original work, or is it also for coloring enthusiasts? I would say that coloring enthusiasts could really have a lot of fun in this, but it really depends on the enthusiast, I think. I think no differently than digital art, there are some people that really are connected with the traditional art and the embracing the materials and just all that goes into traditional art. It's very different. So I would say it really depends on the person. But I think that if you're doing it for the coloring therapy, the focus on the detail of what you're doing, if that is your reason, then I think Procreate is definitely a good option for that, sustainable option. If you're limited on space, or if you want to take coloring everywhere that you go, then you've got your device right there with you. So great question. Thank you so much, Bryce. GMTA, I was about to say that. Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys on Friday with a new topic regarding Procreate. Not sure what it'll be yet, but I'm sure it'll be exciting. Have an awesome one.